that he did that interview with that DaBaby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? How he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house and how Beyonce presented herself to him, and she didn't have to do that because he knew who she was and he couldn't believe she was talking to him. But she approached him.
I gotta go out there to the mansions in the Hamptons and check on Beyonce. They say she sprung out on drugs.
Hold up, not DaBaby being right about Beyonce. All this time, Beyonce and Jay-Z have been working overtime to distance themselves from Diddy, but it's starting to look like canceling those Rock Nation brunches won't be enough to keep the heat off them. And if that wasn't messy enough, 50 Cent just revealed he's dropping an expose-style documentary on Jay-Z and Beyonce, and yes, it's set to reveal every shady tie they ever had with Diddy. The moment Diddy got taken into custody and 50 Cent announced that documentary, people instantly started saying Jay and Beyonce couldn't possibly be innocent in all this. Folks are convinced they had to have heard, seen, or known something way before everything blew up. And let's not forget, DaBaby already exposed Beyonce for being at one of Diddy's secretive parties. He shared the whole story about the time he got invited to Diddy's house for a private meeting, thinking it was strictly business, only to walk in and see a crowd of industry heavyweights, including Jay-Z and Beyonce. The vibe was already strange, but he tried to keep it cool. Then things switched up fast. DaBaby says Diddy suddenly kicked everyone out except him, Beyonce, and Jay-Z, turning the room into a super exclusive circle out of nowhere. At first, he still assumed it was going to be a regular business discussion, but it didn't take long for him to realize they were on a whole different type of timing. Beyonce allegedly walked right up to him, got close, and introduced herself like he didn't already know exactly who she was. After that, everything between them took a wild turn.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Mm-hmm. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know, right. Jay-Z and Beyonce being, you know, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in
right.
at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to. Right. Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop the whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope.
The internet went into full chaos and people started looking at Beyonce with a serious side eye. Someone even said, so DaBaby was doing the bending? After everything he said about the gays, he's actually the one with them, throwing out messy comments left and right. Another person said, oh, she came over and introduced herself to you? The Beyonce introduced herself to you? Whoa, we waking it up now? While all this drama was boiling, attorney Ariel Michelle added even more pressure. She did an interview and revealed that someone contacted her to represent them in the sale of a private tape involving Diddy and a certain extremely high-profile celebrity. Ariel said she personally saw the footage, and the celebrity involved was even more high-profile than Diddy. Now, of course,
so was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge. Mr. Combs was in the tape and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video. And I can tell the video was graphic in nature.
Oh my.
Ariel said she saw this video herself.
Only a handful of people in the industry outrank Diddy in fame. And since DaBaby's interview was already going viral, Beyonce became the first name everybody started whispering about. The speculation went wild fast. Jaguar Wright even backed up the rumor. She claimed the reason DaBaby didn't spill every detail was because Shannon had been working closely with Jay and Bey to secure that big NFL partnership. And the last thing he wanted was for DaBaby to mess that bag up by talking reckless about them.
Is a broke-down Mandingo fighter still working on behalf of the NFL. Interview with that DaBaby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? That happened on Shay Shack. And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house. And how after, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m., Diddy got rid of almost everybody, but he let DaBaby stay behind with him and his close friends. And then he talked about how Beyonce was there and Jay-Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house.
This whole situation had people connecting dots fast, and it all started exploding because of the DaBaby interview. Folks had their own suspicions about Jay and Beyonce before, but his story made everyone feel like things were finally clicking into place. The theory started going wild, with some people even pushing the idea that Jay was allegedly sending Beyonce toward Diddy and keeping her controlled through a mix of substances, similar to what people have accused Diddy of doing with Cassie. Then that viral clip of Beyonce at a basketball game resurfaced and blew up again. She looked completely out of it next to Jay, struggling to keep her eyes open and slowly swinging her head like she was trying not to fall asleep. People on the street were saying this wasn't just regular tiredness. They claimed she was recovering from substances she allegedly used the night before at some private party involving Diddy and Jay. Her PR team tried to clean up the whole situation by saying she was just tired from rehearsals, but absolutely nobody was buying that explanation. The timing was too messy, the footage was too strong, and the rumors were already running nonstop. Beyonce's assistant allegedly told Media Takeout that Jay was putting his hands on Beyonce, but she stressed these were her own claims, not proven facts. She said, "Seems that for a while he's had a problem with keeping his hands to himself." She explained she never saw Jay strike Beyonce, but she did claim she'd seen him shove or push her more than once. At first she said she thought it was playful, but after seeing how embarrassed Beyonce looked when it happened in Saint-Tropez, she realized it felt way more serious than she originally thought. She said she'd been Beyonce's assistant and friend for years and always wanted to speak up but didn't think it was her place. According to her, he treated Beyonce more like an object than a partner, which had people online reacting non-stop. Then popular gossip YouTuber Storm Monroe added even more fuel to the situation. And again, he was talking strictly speculation, not confirmed facts. He claimed Diddy's legal drama might be the real reason Beyonce has been flooding the market with new projects and tours. He suggested she might be unsure of what her career could look like by the end of the year, so she's stacking money while she can.
The reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it, and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask Jay Salee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay, and she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, "Oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah 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 blah." Now, before all this happens, we may get another tour. We may get another album out of both of them. I don't know, because at the end of the day, they about their money first. They're gonna do what's best for business first. As far as Beyonce is concerned, do she love him? I mean, he's really all that she knows.
And when you look at the timeline, she really has been dropping non-stop. She launched Ivy Park with Adidas, which came and went, then hit the Renaissance World Tour, released the concert film in theaters, dropped her Cowboy Carter album, launched a perfume line, put out a tequila brand, and then announced another tour right after. It had fans saying this strategy felt different. Storm claimed Beyonce might be worried about how Diddy's legal fallout could affect her own career, which sent the internet into another spiral of theories and debates. Online chatter went wild again when fans noticed that Beyonce and Jay-Z had suddenly gone extra quiet on social media, and people started saying they were laying low because they didn't want to get dragged further into Diddy's scandals. Some users even claimed Jay was moving suspiciously, pointing out how he skipped a couple of high-profile events he normally never misses. It had everyone asking if he was trying to stay out of the spotlight while things unfolded around Diddy. Then another rumor popped up claiming Beyonce had been stressing behind the scenes and allegedly pulling back from certain partnerships. Commenters said she'd been making some last-minute business moves that felt rushed, which had folks wondering if she was bracing for more industry drama to surface. Nothing was confirmed, but the theories spread fast because everyone was already on edge. To make things even wilder, a leaked audio clip started circulating online where a woman claimed insiders were cleaning house around Beyonce and Jay-Z to keep their names from getting linked to anything unnecessary. The woman didn't give names or proof, but the internet grabbed it instantly and ran with it like it was solid evidence. People were posting breakdowns, timelines, and even turning into at-home detectives trying to match every detail from DaBaby's interview to the new rumors. The whole situation had fans convinced something big was happening behind closed doors, and every small move Beyonce or Jay made was suddenly treated like a coded message that something major was on the horizon. Y'all already saw what 50 Cent did to Diddy with that new Netflix documentary, and the internet swore he was ready to bring that same heat toward anyone connected to him. People online had their own loud opinions, like this person who said, "I'm sorry, but Beyonce is not innocent. She has known what is going on. Oprah, Ellen, Jay-Z, and many others need to fall with him. They're not saying anything about child sex, and yes, that's also a charge." This comment had social media spinning non-stop. Another person jumped in saying, "I don't believe for 1 minute that Beyonce is a victim. She knew about the parties and attended them alongside her husband." These claims were messy, emotional, and based on online speculation, but that didn't stop folks from posting them everywhere. The conversation just kept getting louder. Stay locked in because things are clearly far from over. But now I want to hear what you think. Do you believe 50 Cent is really about to expose Beyonce and Jay-Z, or is the internet just running wild again? And do you think Beyonce has anything to do with these rumors, or is she being dragged into something that isn't hers? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment to keep this conversation going, and click over to watch the next messy video.